Hi guys, so today we're going to talk more about the crust, okay? And so the thing here with this lesson is we haven't had the lesson on work of water, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it, okay? So the job of the river is to carve, carry, and deposit. So the river carves the water, it carries things from one place to another, and then at the very end of the river, it deposits sediment. So material is carried down the river, right? So there's a lot of material that the river can carry. So for example, if we're thinking about the Mississippi River, every year it deposits 500 million tons of matter. So if we took all the soil that formed a big column with a base of 1 square mile of all the deposits from the Mississippi River, it would reach 140 feet tall. Can you imagine how tall that would be? That's insane. That'd be about the height of a 7-story building. So we know that the river deposits year after year. Well, can you imagine the weight of all that deposit on the ocean floor? And remember, we talked about how the ocean floor is considered a part of the crust. So it's really pressing down on the crust in the area where the sediment deposits. So as all these materials are dumped in the sea, slowly this pressure starts to build up and the crust is starting to press down. So imagine that this is our crust, and this is what happens when the river deposits all of the sediments. So what happened when I do this? It pressed down into one area. So what happens to the area around it? It rises up. The land rose up. So whenever the river deposits all of its materials, sediments, and soil, the surrounding crust rises. Well, why is that? Because there is less pressure there than the place that the matter is deposited. So in a way, there is a balance of pressure that is maintained between the rise and fall of the crust. This happens because the mantle is plastic. We call this isotonic balance. So let's take a look at this chart. So here we see the soil is carried to the sea, all the way from the mountains and into the oceans. So the deposits put pressure here. Because the mantle is plastic, there is a movement in these areas that moves away and puts pressure and rises. So there is a balance between the rise and the fall. If it falls here, it rises here. So we call this isotonic balance. It comes from 2 Greek words, iso meaning stay and static meaning same. So the pressure of the sediment becomes so great that eventually the mantle gives and the pressure diffuses off to the sides, causing the surrounding areas of rock to rise up. And that is how continents also rise up in this same way.